Anne Frank had been hiding from the Nazis for 25 months with her friends and family when the Gestapo found them. Growing up, Anne Frank lived through harsh conditions before her family was arrested and taken to concentration camps. She wrote about them in a red checker diary her parents bought her for her birthday. Anne was born right into the Nazis taking over power and went into hiding from the Nazis. Then after, she was found by the police, was arrested, and taken away to a concentration camp where she died at a very young age. Her father was then the only one to survive and found her diary she had written in hiding. In early July 1942, after Margot Frank, which is her sister, received a letter ordering her to report to a work camp in Germany. Anne Frank's family went into hiding in an attic behind her father's apartment, Otto Frank. Life for the 8 people in the small apartment, which Anne Frank referred to as the secret annex, was very tense. The group lived in constant fear of being discovered and could never go outside. She wrote on December 20th, 1942, "Added to this misery, there is another, but of a more personal nature, and it pales in comparison to all the suffering I've just told you about. Still, I can't help telling you that lately I've begun to feel deserted." Anne passed the time by chronicling her observations and feelings in a diary she had received for her 13th birthday, a month before her family went into hiding. After 25 months in hiding, Anne Frank and the 7 others in the secret annex were discovered by the Gestapo, which is the German secret state police. Anne and her sister Margot were sent to Bergen-Belsen concentration camp. In March 1945, the sisters died of typhus at Bergen-Belsen, and their bodies were thrown into a mass grave. When Otto returned after the camp was liberated, he returned to an abandoned home. He was given some notebooks and loose papers that contained Anne's writings. Otto Frank knew that Anne wanted to become an author or journalist and had hoped that her wartime writings would one day be published. Although the U.S. publishers initially rejected the work as it was too depressing or dull, it was eventually published in America in 1952 as The Diary of a Young Girl, which was soon to be known as The Diary of Anne Frank. Living in cramped, harsh conditions for such a long period of time was how Anne Frank grew up, and that's all she knew before she was found by the police. Her and her family were then arrested and taken away to a camp where Anne soon died. Her and her family were then arrested and taken away to a camp. Her father, being the only one left alive, found the diary of his daughter, Anne, and kept on and went to publish it. Anne Frank's diary makes us understand the struggles she and 6 million other Jews in the Holocaust had to go through. She has been called the human face of the Holocaust.